Hey everyone, it's Charity again, Senior Recruiter at Access Medical Staffing. I get asked a lot about traveler-friendly hospitals and what that means. And as a recruiter, I'm guilty of doing that where I'll tell a candidate that a hospital is traveler-friendly, but I don't really take the time to explain what that actually means and help the traveler sort of understand what recruiters might be referring to when we say that a hospital or a facility is traveler friendly. So I thought I'd take a minute to clear up what that means to me as a recruiter, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense for you in case you hear that phrase thrown out there. So the main thing that I'm looking for when I say, or if I'm trying to determine that a hospital is traveler friendly, is I look at how often travelers are extending their contracts at these facilities. So to me, that's a really good indication that they like the assignment, that things seem to be going well. And the more often I see people extending their contracts, the more likely it is that it's a pretty decent facility to work in, I would imagine. The next thing that I tend to look at is what kind of relationship do we have with that facility and how do they typically handle issues and concerns that might come up during the assignment. So in some cases, if we have a clinical concern or something like that, it can be challenging to get those issues resolved, or maybe the facility just isn't too concerned about it. So they don't really make a lot of effort to improve a situation. But in other cases, we may have a more direct relationship with that facility where we can bring up those concerns and feel fairly confident that somebody's going to do something about it and take our concerns seriously. So that's another thing that I look at when I'm determining how traveler friendly a facility might be. And finally, I look at things like the feedback that I get from travelers about, safety, nurse to patient ratios, floating, things like that. So a lot of times facilities kind of put the brunt of the work on travelers and make them the first to float. Maybe they're floating all the time. Maybe they're floating to places where they're not super competent or qualified to float, which is a big concern. So I kind of take that into consideration as well, and I really rely on the feedback from my travelers and from people that I have conversations with day to day to let me know from their experience what that facility is really like from their point of view. As a recruiter, my perspective is very limited. I have not worked at any of these hospitals. I don't know firsthand what they're like. So we rely on travelers to really feed us that information and use that to educate any potential future travelers. So please don't hesitate to have those conversations with your recruiters and say, hey, I really thought this facility was awesome. They took great care of the travelers, or not so great. Maybe you wouldn't recommend that, a first-time traveler work here, or somebody with more experience should probably work here. That's all valuable information. So I hope that helps clear things up a bit. What makes a traveler-friendly facility? If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to comment below or send me a message. Thank you.